Good morning. Round 3. Let's go. Alright. Start the arm build. Let's do AJAMES.DEV. I also sat on my glasses last night, so excellent. Fucking wonky, man. Like some sort of crazy professor. Alright, we are running locally. And there we go. Alright, so last time we built this absolute masterpiece. Built out the CV just with the basic layout. And now that's in place, I want to do two things today. I want to style it up so it doesn't look like it's from 1995. And I also want to replace this lorem ipsum content with actual content. So unfortunately my internet kicked me out before I could finish this last time. So this is a little grid, and I want it to be stacked on mobile, because we should be mobile first. So look at the iPhone, we've got a column of skills here. But when this goes up to tablet and above, I think we want to split this. So we have 2 tags per column. So here we've got the CV, here's our expertise, and we have this grid. We have 2 components. We have a grid root and we have a grid item. Grid root displays as a grid, 1 column for the moment, repeating rows, and then we're using our tokens to give 16 pixels of space between them. The grid item just has some spacing around it, and we've just got a border so we can see where one begins and one finishes. So ideally what we need in here, this shouldn't actually be that big a change. We should just be able to say at breakpoint 2, for those that don't know, I'm using Stitches.js. I've set up a breakpoint 2 here. So a minimum width at 720. And at this point, I want this to go to 2, I think. So we're going to use Sarah Drasner's grid generator. We're going to go 2. So for 2 columns, we want the repeat. Equal weighting, 2 columns. So they should be side by side. Boom. 1 line change. Love it. So then if I go to iPhone, we've got a single grid. And then if I go to tablet and above, then we're going 2 by 2. Why is there all that space though? It doesn't feel right. Ah, it's because this will change. I can't remember how you do this. Do you just say auto? Yeah. Because I'm gonna have 6 in each, because I'm anally retentive like that, and I want these both to be similar. But if I just had 5 skills here, or if I had 4 here, it should dynamically generate the column rows based on how many skills are provided. However, we actually only want one column on mobile and then 2 columns, anything above. Cool. That was relatively quick. It's always good to use a little bit of CSS Grid as well. Right, first thing I want to do is tidy up the spacing here. Oh, I'm missing my title at the top here, so let's build the title first. So first thing we want is a VStack. That, and then inside of here we are going to want, what are we going to want? Oh. So on mobile, I don't need a download or a print button. It's not really required here. Nice. Okay, so we just need a VStack here. I think I don't really like having CV here because I just want to show this is like an active link. So I think my name can be the header one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this in here and then call it my name, and then let's get rid of this. This will just be a text headline, I guess. Engineer. So I've got what? Title and then location. So we'll just say oh, I'm sleepy. Right. Okay. This. I want this to be part of the main CV. Do I though? So I've got this. This is sitting nicely here. Maybe I don't. because I always want this at the top. Let's move this up. Let's incorporate that. And then because this is its own thing, I think I just want to do border. I'm just going to say 5 pixel solid. Should be enough to get me started. And I want the spacing to be consistent here. So let's add spacing here. Nice. So that gives me the gutter down here, but allows the border to span the entire width of the CV. And let's do items. I've always toyed with just defaulting everything to center aligned, but I just never get around to it. I mean, does this really need all of that? I don't think it does. I think that can just be a single line, which means it doesn't need this. It doesn't need this. There we go. Much simpler. I'm going to have print and what have I got? Print and download functionality here. Do I add that just now? Yeah, let's add it. Let's add it with a to do. So let's create this as an H stack, and this is going to be a V stack. Like so, nothing should change. And the reason I did that is because here I'm going to create an H stack. Yeah, so this will be interesting because I'm going to make a button, and that button will be for the download, the print action. Let's just say that. However, the download will be a link. Expect an href. I'll bet you do. You can just put dummy links in for now, fill in actual content later. Beautiful. Okay, why is that like that? Anyway, this is this. And once again, we want to align items to the center. There we go. That's a bit better. Actually, I think for once, I want to vertically align it to the flex end. Yeah, because I want this to sit along the bottom. And I want a gap of 5 to just put some space between the buttons. And then let's go to Radix icons. So I'm looking for a printer. What looks like a printer? What have we got here? Clipboard copy. That's not really suitable. What's this? Archive. Bookmark. There's nothing really for either here. We've got components. Calendar. I think we can use this at least. So download icon. And then let's just add a title to this link. It says download CV. Nice. So we've got a little download icon here. Interestingly, I thought if you pass download true, that wouldn't navigate. Oh well. Good to know. If we hover over that, it should tell us to download the CV. Nice. Okay, so I just need a printer icon. I think I'm going to need to be abstract, because I don't think there is a dedicated one. Maybe just a sheet of paper. Well, a document. Yeah, I think that. Or maybe the file text. What's this? Reader. I think I'm in the right area now, at least. Archive, crumpled paper. It's probably not going to give the best impression. Either go simple with a file. I think file text. I think that looks more like my resume. Yeah, let's go file text. Okay. always do size. I'm not sure why. I think I must have had it on a previous component. Button on click. Actually, let's just do it. Console log. Save the server freaking out. And then styles. Given where they are, I think they can be a little bit bigger. Too big. Better. And then maybe a 7 gap there. Can buttons have titles? Now, I wonder if they're too abstract. If I arrived on this page, would I know that this is a print CV button? There's no immediate functionality there. Maybe I can revisit that after. At least the buttons are there for now. I wonder actually if Radix has a group. Radix UI. Do you have a button group or something like that? Radio group. Toggle group. Nah, I don't think so. Okay, so now that's kind of there. Now all I need to do is, number one, look at this in mobile. So the good thing about this being wrapped in a stack is I should be able to just say okay, so let's be clever about this. I have layout components, and those layout components have variants. So I have spacing variants. I have flex variants. I'm going to create display variants here. Be lazy and copy pasta. Let's just get rid of. Let's get rid of all of these just now. Oh, I royally arsed that up. So we're gonna have display variants, right? And what do I want? I want a quick way to flip between display none. Or do I want visibility? So let's do display, right? Display. Okay, so the only ones I really use on a day-to-day basis here are block, flex, block, flex, grid. Yeah, start small. Display. So block, flex, grid. I'm not going to need these utils because there's no dynamic values here. And on this as well, I'm going to have visibility. Because sometimes I don't want it. Sometimes I just want to hide the content. Do I want an opacity on here? Yeah, I probably do. Let's not be too hasty with this. Right, so we put grid on here. I'm going to make an opacity util. This value is going to be a number. This is going to be opacity value. So we'll do visibility first. Visibility. Okay, what do I use? Hidden and visible, I suppose. And then let's make an opacity. And how do I do this again? So I'm calling the gap util. So I just call gap, I think, and then pass a value. I need to think about that. I also need to use the bathroom, so back in 2 seconds. All right. I think instead of adding a flex util here, no, sorry, a display util. I don't want that to be specific to this. I think I want to add this as a global util. I think this will work. Oh, actually, maybe it's... Let's put that back, but remove this, right? Let's just grab the display utils, add that to the main config. So now I should have an opacity utility. And if we look at the stitches docs, utils. So we have utils, and then size. How do I use it? I think I just call it in here, right? But then opacity is an actual CSS property, so OP. That's another word for opacity. Are you going to give me darkness, murkiness, obscurity? Let's call it OP. OP. So now, I actually don't need to use this now, but I'm just curious if it works. So I'm on the CV. Let's do it with the grid item first. So here are my grid items. And if I added an OP of 0.4, yes. And then where do I have a CSS object? Here. Oh no. Where's my CSS object? There it is. Can I just add that in here? Love it. Okay, so I've got that in my toolbox now. That will probably come in handy later. For now, let's get rid of that. What I actually wanted here was on my layout components. This will need tidied up because these are all very similar. But give me the display variants in here. And the benefit of doing this is I should now be able to, for instance, on this, I could just say display none. And then what's really powerful with stitches is I can open this out and I'm going to say initial display flex. Oh, even better, even better. We should probably have display initial, because then it should default to flex. Let's see if it does. Oh, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it'll default to block because it's a div. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, I actually want this to be none because we're mobile first. And then at breakpoint, do. Give me blanks. So now if I go to tablet, boom. So I've got my icons, and then if I go to mobile, they're gone. All right, that looks okay. Now I just want to tidy up spacing. Space is at a premium here, especially if we go down to XR is quite big. What about the SE? Let's use the SE as an example. I think this has 16 pixels. We're on space 5. Oh, it's actually got 20 pixels. So I think I actually want to go down to space 3 maybe. So wonder if I can do something similar here. I'm going to grab this object. And I'm going to say initially 3, breakpoint 2, 5. And just to illustrate that's working, this is going to be at spacing 3, which is going to be 12 pixels. And then when I come out of here, it's going to be huge. I actually want to go down to 2. I think I want to do 2, 4. Glasses, man. God damn. This could probably be a const because it's going to be... Let's see how many times I use it. Here we have this top H stack, which is this. And then for the main CV, should be here, I think. Yeah, because here we're wrapping. That gap is just for here, I think. Let's leave that for now. See that? That's just popped in like an extra word per line. Is that too tight? Yeah, it's just a little bit. Yeah, I think that's what I want here. Because I'll have the gutter. It's 8, I think. So the outer gutter on this will be 8 pixels, yeah. So from the edge of the screen to the beginning of the CV will be 8, and then this just gives us a little bit of breathing room. Okay, what looks terrible? There's too much space here. The problem is I'm using a gap property. So it will be equal spacing above and below it. And line height will play a part here. I've always kind of been of the opinion. Do I have like a text one? Yeah, see if I just do this. Not sure how I feel about that. Or, well, just give everything a 1.5. Because it's not really a document. But then when it comes to writing my blogs, that line height is probably quite important. But yeah, I just like consistent spacing. I'm gonna start with this. I mean, immediately it looks better. So. Don't think this needs any space between it. I think this looks fine. I actually think now the line height's been removed, it's actually quite nice to have equal spacing above and below it. We need more space between the sections. So here's our sections here. Okay, so that's the left-hand side. I mean, we'll need to do it for both, but for here. Where are we? Yeah, we're here, sorry. So we have profile and experience. So let's do a gap of 5. Nice, that's enough to just break that up. And then let's look at the experience. What is that gap? Here we have experience, gap 3, fragment, text title 3. What is with the gap there? Ah, I see, I see. Maybe I just need to wrap this in a V-stack. Just to control the gap. Maybe not. Yeah, so now that's there. And then in here. There we go. Yeah, that looks okay. Maybe this could be a V-stack, and then I like this. There's enough spacing here. I don't like this. This feels clunky. And I wonder if it feels clunky because this link. I wonder if this was text body. Body. Yeah, I think that's better. It just keeps everything in line. Yeah, that's a bit cleaner. I want there to be less space here than what there is here. Looks like I don't get that choice though, because it's a fragment. If I make this a V-stack, then the gap will change, because it will actually render an element on the page. There we go. Okay, so now I'm fully in control of the sections. So I'm going to put a gap of 1. Let's make it 3. And then I want the gap on the parent to 5. But then that's different to this. Five's a bit much. So I want that to be 3, and then yeah, maybe let's keep it all together. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's all it takes. Does this even need a gap? Yes. Yeah, I like it. Okay. That's looking swell. Okay, gap 3. I think this is basically going to be my default spacing. Got all these gap 3s, and I think when I go to tablet mode, I'm going to want to bump that up to 5. But we'll finish the first draft and then redraft. Contact. Where's my contact? Here it is. So these already have gap 3s. What is it missing? It's missing spacing between the sections, which I think I added here. Excuse me. Where did I add it? Here's profile and experience, which is a gap of 5. So on this top V stack, I think I want a gap of 5. That gives me some spacing. Now there's too much space here. And that's because that's the main split here. That is, where's the flex wrap? That's this one. And it's because I have a gap of 5. No, that should be fine. Is it because, is there multiple gaps there? It's because it's 3. Yeah. Maybe I want this as 5. Between profile and experience is a gap of, there's the parent here. I think this is the parent, right? So what's the gap here? So that's a gap of, pardon me, that's a gap of 5. That is not. That 20 pixels. That is not the same size. I'm losing my mind. At the right element? Ah, it adds a double gap. Okay. Oh, I was going crazy there. Right, so this separator. Interestingly, that has a variant of display none. But it's still rendered on the DOM, which means the gap property still respects it. Which is unfortunate. I think this is why I ended up using border in my previous iteration. Because technically there's an invisible separator here, and that's why the gap is correct, but because an invisible separator sits here on the DOM, then the gap has been applied above and below it. I really thought display none would work for that. It's annoying. Flex gap, ignore. Display none. That's not a bad show. A little bit hacky, but it might work. Display none. Position. Absolutely. Yeah, that does work. Clavier. So that's the separator root. The display of none. It should apply position absolute. Why does it not? Here it is. Call this the header, just so I know what I'm dealing with here. So there's the gap, and here's the separator. Now that's a box, which means display initial none. Display as a block. Why did I need this in a box though? I think it's because it was display block. Let's take this out, because that should now work, but my actual separator is now probably missing here. Yeah, it is. So as if I flex it. Nothing. Where are you at? There you are. It's because it's shrinking. That's why. Let's make that flex. And instead of doing a height of 100%, flex, don't grow, don't shrink, on a 1 pixel basis. Ten pixels? Let's put the box background. Let's create a position. A relative. I think it defaults to static, right? So we'll default at top. Let's do relative, absolute. And then let's take this out of here, stick it in here. And let's create 2. Position and display. Absolute to begin with, and then static should be fine, and then initially display none. Nice, so I've got this here now. If I refresh that, it should get rid of the styles. Nice. Very happy with that. And then if I go to mobile, it should now have, yeah, exactly. Nice. It is a little bit hacky, but I'll take it. I'll take it. All right. What's our gap here? Interesting. Because it's mapping it. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, as long as the gap between these, so that should have a gap of 3, right? Yeah. But then the gap between sections should be 5. Yeah, I think that's fine. Same here. The gap between these should be 3 as well. Ooh, 4. Unacceptable. Expertise. It's going to be here. It's the actual grid root component. Let's just tighten that up a little bit. And then that means 5 between them. 3, 3, 3. Not bad. Tablet looks pretty good. Do I want to split them? Maybe. And then do I want to split these as well? I think I do. I think it'll just read a bit better. That looks nice. I like them all together. Okay, let's do that because it's kind of fun. Because on mobile, this will be a single column. And then on tablet, it will be dual column. And then when I come out of here, I come back to here, this will go back to being a single column. So that's kind of fun. So let's start with contact. So we've got this VStack here. The title will remain constant, so will the border. I wonder, can I reuse this? What if I just use a grid root? Because the grid items don't have any grid properties. So here we have this, which is our links. And then if we added grid root here, boom. Nice. And then I'm going to do the same for education. Ah, that's annoying. Actually. That would be fine. If I just align that flex end. How would I do that? Grid template columns. Display flex. Justify content. Flex. And is that in line? Is that in line? Okay, so that's on that one specifically. but they should be okay if I'm mapping over this. That's a VStack. Then if I was just to say justify content flex and boom. That shouldn't affect anything else here. So my main problem at the minute is I wanted to go back to single column on desktop. Desktop needs a little bit of love. So let's put this back. So we have the grid route, and we're saying at breakpoint 2, go to 2 columns, and then at breakpoint 3, go back to 1. Don't need that. So what do I see? Single column, starting with our profile, shows our experience, contact information, single column, education, single column, expertise and interest, single columns. If I go to iPad, profile and experience is still single column, contact splits to 2, education splits to 2, and this splits to 2. And then we go here, and we're back to single column. Nice! Right, one thing I want to do though is on here, I want to treat this like a sidebar. So this currently has, this side of the CV has equal weighting to this side, and this side is going to have a lot more content. This is supplementary information. So I want to reduce the size of this. Education, expertise. I wish you could just minimize everything by default. Contact. There's the separator, there's profile and experience. So this is the important one. This is supplementary. So I want to give this flex grow. Right? I want this to eat up all available space. I could add this with properties, but I'm just going to do a CSS object here. And I'm going to say flex grow 0. Flex shrink 0. Flex basis 300 pixels. So it's basically the equivalent of just giving it a fixed width of 300 pixels. And how does that look? That's actually not terrible. Maybe I'll move references. This side should definitely be smaller than this one. And I've got a couple more jobs I want to add to this. Out of interest, how does this look? Yeah, so this is way longer. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Cool. Nice, I'm happy with that. One thing I'm going to want to do here is I'm going to go to my data and look at my employment. Because I'm going to need, okay, content 1 is going to be a string, content 2 optional, content 3 optional. This is a bit barbaric, but this is just going to allow me to add extra paragraphs of content here. So content is just going to be, let's do dog. Right. One. There's going to be content 1. Content 2. This one can have content 1. Oh. And this one can have content 1. 2 and 3. Did not mean to do that. Definitely did not mean to do that. What have I done? Okay. Let's just grab some lorem ipsum. And I'm intentionally just grabbing random lengths because it's a bit closer to natural content. A bunch of designs will get handed to you and they'll all have identical content and everything looks fantastic. And then you put dynamic content in and everything falls to shit. So let's try and keep it as dynamic as possible. There we go. So content 1, 2, and 3. So if I come back here and then look at my experience, I think I've just put a text body in here. So this will be replaced and this will be employer content 1. That's fine. That will always be there. So, however, I want these to be conditional. And I want to say is employer content to exist, and if it does, then give me the text body with this. It's just sloppy programming. There we go. So content ones are required, so that will always be there. If 2 exists, render it, otherwise render null, and if 3 exists, do that too. So here we can see 2 paragraphs rendering here, 1 paragraph rendering here, and then 3 rendering here. Now, because of the way I've structured this, the same gap will apply all the way down here, right? Yeah. I want a V-stack in here, because I actually want to give my content more space between paragraphs. So I want to break the gap. Oh, how did I arse that up? Text body, text body. Ah. Okay, we're okay. Okay. So now, if I put a gap of 3 on here, there we go. So we'll keep a 1 gap here, like between these, but then between paragraphs we'll have 3. Okay, getting there. So here I have text body, text headline, and I actually want one that goes the other way. So text body is basic font, right? Font 16, what all your copy should be. Text headline is generally if I want something to have more emphasis. So maybe this title here, and then if I go home, this will be, these links will probably be headline. These will be headline, right? So it's just a little bit more emphasis. I think for this, I actually want the opposite. I want supplementary synonym. Auxiliary. Auxiliary's winning so far. Supplemental. Related. Text join. Text extra. Text minor. It's going to be smaller. Text minor. Text related. Oh man, spend all day naming things. Text thing. Text ox. I like text ox. There we go. So it's going to be a styled. Style text docs. Let's keep the as. So we're going 24, 18, 18, 16. So let's go 16, 14. So we're just going to make it slightly smaller. And this is using text props, which can use span. Yeah, that's fine. And let's look at the CV. So the start and end date is here. I just want that a little bit smaller. And then I want the same for the qualifications. Education. These are all fine. Yeah, all good. All good. That's not bad. That is not looking bad. Okay. Annoyingly, there's now the same gap here as there is here. And is that what I want? Gap 3 is correct. I'm gonna go. Where's my experience? And then I'm just gonna go gap 2 here. Bring that in a little bit. Contact info. Education. Expertise. All right. One thing I don't like is how little space there is here. That's actually not bad there, but I'm gonna, yeah, maybe I'll do it here. So instead of, where's the main one? Here we go. Here's the main CV. These glasses are a joke, man. We've got flex wrap. We've got flex grow. Let's change that to be spacing horizontal. And then let's have spacing vertical always be 5. Nice. Yeah, I like that. So that gives a little bit of extra space here before it starts, and then that should also give a little bit of extra space on the bottom. Just want to make sure that actually works on the bottom. Yeah, there we go. 10's a bit extreme. Let's keep it at 5 just now. Better, because then there's the same space here as there is here. Yeah, I like that. I like that. So we keep all this relevant information together, separated by a gap of 3. We then have a gap of 2 here. Content 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. 3. Yeah, that's nice. So this should then mirror this. So this has a gap of 1, right? Oh, does that even have a gap? I don't think it does. It does not. Interesting. That would be this. No. That would be this. So let's take a gap of 1 here. A gap of 1 here. Let's go with it. Let's just give it a little bit of space to breathe. And then we'll use font weights. So as 1. Gap of 1, gap of 2, gap of 3. So let's do the same for the education. Education. This one's going to be a bit trickier, but because we have a grid root here. And the grid root is going to separate these. What if I put a gap of 1 here? I should split them all out a little bit, right? Nice. And then is the optional? Yeah. So we only want to render this if it's here. Nice. There's a gap of 1 between them. And then gap of 1 between them. And then we got here. I think for this we want a gap of 2. If we wanted that to be correct. Let's do the row gap 2. I actually quite like the 3. Let's go. And uh-oh. Ah, because I flexed it. Okay. So here's the main CV. This don't know if I can do this, but I just want this initially Let's see. Give it the old college try. Initial. Oh no, I don't want that. I actually want that at breakpoint 3. So at breakpoint 3, give me this. And here, what have I just said at that? Yeah, nice. So at breakpoint 3, that's what I want. Space of 3. Space of 2. Getting closer. Annoyingly, it's because it has a line height of 1.5 or 1.2. Is that what it is? Nah, let's go 1.5. That doesn't look too shabby, and there's not a lot of code there. I've got a lot of things open, so I'm just going to close that. Yeah, throughout all of that, I've created 3 styled components, which is pretty nuts. Okay, what's my time looking like? Oh, I forgot. Got about 20 minutes left. Alright, I'm just going to take a 5-minute break. Then I'll be back and tidy up for the final 15 minutes. All right. You want to come up? Yeah, of course you do. Say hi. Such an attention whore. Right. Behave yourself. Right, is there anything else I can do before I finish up? Yeah, where's that spacing vertical? I'm gonna increase that. Initial 5, and then go 7. Just give it a bit more space there. Font sizes and things still need tidied up, but I'm going to tackle that A, once I've chosen a new font, and B, I'm sure there's a B. Yeah, when I start styling this. This is all just, I've got dummy content in now, and I've just used some standard sizes. Is there anything I can do in like 10 minutes? What is this gap? Yeah, actually. Do that as well. That's going 3.5 in the main header. I think I'm going to add this instead. Yeah, just give it a bit more room to breathe vertically. Then that keeps this space consistent with this. These will probably be center aligned, but I'll leave that for styling. And then just for shits and giggles, let's just grab. I think I've had 5 jobs, so I just want to. Interestingly, even with all of that, this is still larger, but I think once I bring the font sizes down of the headers and things, should be okay. This is the only one, so I don't mind the gap here. I think that's nice. I think that's nice, but for this, I actually want more space. So here's education. I'm using a grid root here. And that grid root is using this with a column gap, a row gap of 2, right? However, I think I want to increase that. Education, grid root. I'm going to open a CSS object. And I'm going to say at breakpoint 2, rid row gap is going to be 10 instead. So that adds the same gap here as it does here. So I need to be careful with this. I think 5. Yeah, I think that just gives that a little bit more space. Although it's way more than the rest, because these are all 2. Let's grab this. Okay. We'll come back to that. Where's my profile? So here's profile and experience. So we've got a gap of 5. And I think I want to change that to be 5, 7. Just give a bit more space there. And then instead of gap 3 here, actually, well, I just fix all of these while I'm here. Nice. So I'm just giving it a bit more space to breathe on desktop. So let's look at what gave me some headaches. Profile experience inside here. Gap 2. Let's just change gap. Gap 2. We'll say 2, 4. And then for gap 1, nice. Mostly. Something's fucky here. This is, we have an H stack here. Interestingly, that is aligned to flex end. Doesn't look like it is though, does it? Definitely doesn't look like it is. Ah, it's because line height's not applied to links. That's why. This is a bit cheeky, but let's do that. Just add that line height to links as well. Nice. Everything's got a bit more room to breathe now. Not bad. Not bad. That must be a bit time, but if we look at AJAMES.DEV. So today we spent a lot of time on spacing and tidying up. And we also worked on some mobile styles. So we went from this, and if we inspect this, go to like iPhone. everything was just a little bit wonky. Whereas now, we've got our title in, we've got a print button, a download button. And yeah, we've started getting some consistent spacing across this. Let's have a quick look on iPhone. Profile, experience. Contact number, education, some skills, some interests, and then some references. If we go up to tablet, we retain a single column here for most of the content. I think that reads pretty well. But then on contact, we're splitting this out a bit. Quite like this because this is all one big course. Annoyingly, I don't have a, maybe I'll undertake a dummy 2-week course just to get an extra column in there. And then we're going dual column on that, and then when I go out onto desktop, then we get this view. Nice. All right, ship it. Let's get some commits in. So I added some display variants in utils. I added content to employment constants, employment data. Global, I standardized line height for all text. I created a text aux component. Display variants to layer components. And finally, I did responsive styles to the CV page. Nice. Add that. Let's push and let's deploy. That could be tighter, but what you gonna do? Looks like that's self-contained. I'll get it next time. Nice, looks like we're deployed, and then let's just get rid of this. If we refresh, boop, there we go. Nice, that was productive. All right, thanks for tuning in. I'll probably be live again tomorrow morning where I will style this to make it shine. Yeah, and then I might actually, if I get time, I'll implement the download and print functionality as well. All right, see you next time.